May 23rd. Regionals are happening on this upcoming Saturday. I still have not figured out my deck. I originally was playing Cyber Shaddolls, and one of the main cards of it that helped with consistency for it and a lot of other decks was Verte Anaconda. And, well, as you know, Verte Anaconda got banned as of May 17th. So the issue is trying to figure out how I'm going to rebuild the deck with that consistency loss. And so I don't know if there's anyone that's going to be coming to the regionals from outside of Saskatchewan, but from what I do know, people in the Saskatchewan Yu-Gi-Oh groups are all asking for Retaliating Sea. I'll try and put it up if I can. But essentially, if I use something like Shaddol Fusion, nice, you're just gonna focus on my face. There you go. If I use something like Shaddol Fusion to try and fuse, they can use Retaliating Sea, summon it to their field, and then any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So, kind of the main thing with that is, it's a pain. It fucks my deck so hard. I think the only thing it doesn't really affect is with Cyberload Fusion, allowing me to fuse with the banished monsters. But still, it sucks. So I've been trying to play Cyber Shaddolls in the same way that they were, with a bit of, you know, card variation. But I've so far been main decking in the extra deck Shaddol Shiganagua, if that will focus. No, focus. Kinda, yep. And using that as a super poly target. It really sucks. The other thing is I do play right now in the side deck 2 Artifact Lancia. However, I gotta figure out if I'm gonna main deck it or not, and it's a lot to consider. I've got now, I think, 6 different iterations of my Cyber Shaddol deck. Some use Lone Fire Blossom to tribute itself for the Predaplant combo to get a super poly to your hand, or any fusion for that card. I've been messing around with Albaz, trying to just do Shaddol Albaz, but I don't want to. I really want to try and make this work again, because it was such a fun deck, and I loved it, but yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Morning. It is the 27th. The last clip was a couple days ago. A lot's happened in that time. If I sound different, it's because I was screaming last night, losing my voice, hanging out with a couple friends. But essentially, Cyber Shaddolls just won't happen. I'm devastated about the fact that I can't play it. I loved the deck. I loved what it could do. It was such a fun deck. But in terms of competitive ability, I can't really be playing around, 6 negates and Vishuda to bounce back to hand. So, makes it difficult. But on the right side, I am going with a bit of an unorthodox route with a invoked Shaddol. Not in the traditional sense of using Makava and so on and so forth. Purely Kaliga and Winda. Kaliga, making it so they can only attempt to activate 1 card effect for monsters per turn. And then Winda, so they only get 1 special summon. And the added bonus of Kaliga, so only 1 monster can attack. But the idea that I'm going with right now, and I'm going to be playtesting it a little bit more today, is with those 2 monsters, I can prevent my opponent from doing really anything. Doesn't mean I lose hard to Super Poly, yes. Am I going to have to figure that out? Yes. I'm still scared about Retaliating Sea, but for the Kaliga, typically when I go into my plays, I will summon Winda first and then make my Kaliga. Just because Usually I can fuse Beast or some other Shadal with Alistair to make the Kaliga. And then my one effect for the turn, or for the rest of the turn, is that of whatever Shadal I send. So yeah, we're gonna test it out today, but that's not until we go to the card shop. There's a little shop in town here. They sell just essentially random Yu-Gi-Oh cards in bulk. Well, they have bulk, you could go through it. So we're gonna stop down there, see if they have any goodies that can potentially help out with the deck. Maybe Solemn Warning, just counter traps essentially. I need a third Alistair though. Right now I've only got 2, but I've got 3 Invocation, 3 Magical Meltdown, and I've got the Kaligas, so we'll see. So, card shop didn't really have anything. Just some kind of generic stuff that I thought would be interesting for some future decks. Just a few things. This was kind of a find, especially since it's been limited. However, 2 things that I saw in there that made me think about this deck that I'm working on. Crackdown and Heavy Stormduster. These might be really good cards to tack into for the deck. Take a Mirror Jade and then either force the effect or something of that sort. And then it also lets me deal with back row, so it might be something to consider. Okay, so I just did a couple different games of, well, with the Invoke Shadal deck, and holy crap, Heavy Stormduster is insane. I've had to use it so many times, typically with Trap Trick or even just by naturally drawing it. So I think this is definitely the route. One deck that I really had trouble with was Flora and Reese, and now I'm consistently able to play against it, and I had an amazing game against it. They used Mystic Mine and like tried to leave me out of the game, but between Kaliga and Heavy Stormdustering, like, they couldn't do anything. Kaliga is so fucking good. So I'm really excited. Hopefully I can put this together and show the guys later tonight. So try and get a clip of that.
So I just realized that before my rounds, I never did show what I was playing. So just up here we have a quick deck list: 3 Alistair, 1 Genius, 2 Wendy, 2 Beast, 1 Dragon, 1 Falco, 3 Lure, 2 El Shadal Fusion, 3 Invocation, 2 Magical Meltdown, 3 Shadal Fusion, 3 Super Poly, 2 Heavy Stormduster, 2 Infinite Permanence, 1 Red Reboot, 1 Schism, 2 Solemn Judgment, 3 Solemn Strike, and then 1 Warning, along with 2 copies of Trap Trick. In the extra deck, we play App Clone, 2 Construct, 3 Winda, 2 Invoke Kaliga, 1 Invoked Elysium, 1 Invoked Makaba, 1 King of the Swamp, or Swamp King, 2 Starring Fusion Dragon, 1 Salamangreat Almirage, and then Secure Gardener. In the side, 3 Lancia, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Ghost Mourner Mulet Chill, 1 Hell Shadal, 1 Reshadal Wendy, Ariel, the Fire Fusion for Shadals, a Invoked Purgatrio, Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Layer of Darkness, and 2 Crackdown. But yeah, just wanted to quickly give that. I can do another video explaining it. But
Gentlemen, where are we going this early fine morning?
Anywhere but here.
Anywhere but here, yes. It's tournament day. Alrighty. We have made it to Regina, gentlemen. We are here, and now we are going to try and go see where the room is, because we'll also pick a spot like to meet up after matches or whatever, if possible. So we'll see. Okay. My round 1 went by really quickly. My opponent didn't show up. They came in, registered, checked in, and then got their packs and left. So I didn't duel. So round 1 goes to me. Yay, I've got 3 points. But Luke and Ethan, their opponents did show, and they're having a bit of a hard time. Luke is going against Sword Soul, which I don't know how well his deck's going to be able to do. We're just sitting there. God. Yeah, so Luke's going against Sword Soul, Ethan's going against Pendulum, which I kind of expected to see, but I wasn't really. This is a lot smaller than I would have thought. I think they said 41 people, and I mean, my opponent disappeared and then someone else's opponent disappeared, so I think at least 2 people of those 41 didn't show. So 39 people, regional, only 4 invites. Hopefully we'll make it. I've been seeing a lot of Sword Soul. That's what I can say. So far 3 Sword Soul decks, 1 DDD, 1 Pendulum, 2 Rockets, and then 2 Salamangreat Grade decks, tech team. So it's gonna be interesting. I think Luke should have some issues with Sword Soul, maybe Salamangreat Grade, but otherwise I think we're gonna do pretty good. But see you in the next clip. Okay, I just finished round 2. Set this here again. Lost. Got 2-0, one against Branded Despia. Game 1, I drew 3 Allure of Darkness, Wendy, and I think Schism. And allured twice, discarded my entire hand twice. And I ended up getting rid of 2 Super Polys, a Red Reboot, and a Magical Meltdown, which honestly could have given me the game had I drawn any of those, but you know what happens. From what I just saw, Ethan is playing against zombies, and they seem to be having some kind of ruling debate. And then Luke is fighting against Cyber Dragons, which I thought was really cool. I'm glad to see that Cyber Dragons are here. But yeah, just overall, we're trying to keep our spirits up and go on into round 3. Because there's X amount of people, I think there's a maximum of 6 rounds, so we're almost halfway through. Yeah. Really wish I could have done better in that round. In game 2, I Lancia'd him twice, which stopped him from going too big, but only so much you could do. So. Okay, game 3, or round 3 was so fucking awesome. I don't know what that was. I went against a Sword Soul, and I won the dart roll. Rolled an 11. Fuck yeah. Went first, and I managed to do my opening play of Winda and Kaliga. And then I had the Heavy Storm Duster, also has a back row. He couldn't do anything. Literally, he was like, okay, what's Kaliga do? So on and so forth. He sat there, thought about it. It's like, and Winda lets me only special summon once. Like, yeah. He scooped. Just right then and there. Like, the second I ended my turn, he essentially scooped. So, game 1 was fucking awesome. Game 2, he won. Ended up winning through, what was it? The level 10 that burns for 1200. Between that and the level 8 synchro that Ken negates, he negated the Alistair. I allured twice and then didn't draw on anything. So, lost that game. Game 3, lost, but it was really damn close. He started out with Rashuda and essentially used Crackdown so that way he couldn't link it into the Monk of the 10E and would be able to get the banish effect. So that helped. He could only do so much with that. After that, just kind of bricked, and then that was game. But great dude. Probably the best game I've had so far. It was so much fun. I think I saw Lucas fighting against Dinos, potentially a 60 card base Dino deck with Invoked and stuff. And then Ethan, I don't know what Ethan's going against, but I'm sure we'll find out. So yeah, going on to round 4. Okay, I just did round 4. That really sucked. The dude was an absolute ass. Like, he was very bubbly when the judge was nearby, and when he wasn't, he was just an absolute dick. He was playing like some kind of cyber dark, fucking weird thing. He tried saying that Shaddoll Beast was a discard for cost. Even though he played it, like literally, he used Shaddoll Beast, and then I summoned with Falco my own Shaddoll Beast and used the flip effect. He had no issue with the card effect for Beast, like to draw one, but fuck. Other than that, I have no idea. Very disingenuous. Yeah, that sounds like probably the worst game that I've had today. And then he kept bickering with the judge, like, oh, no, it's this. Head judge is saying, no, I'm right. It's really pissed me off, but whatever, it's the game. We'll try and do better in round 5 or so. Okay, just finished round 5. Fight against Heroes. That's what we did. 2-0'd. And then it was against a guy that I'd sold cards to before. Nice guy. He just brooked 2 games in a row, and at one point, game 2 had Winda and Dragon. He super polyed them, and well, super poly didn't really do him anything because I hadn't North summoned. So we North summoned Wendy and used Wendy along with our super polarization to make it a secondary Winda, which I'm really glad that I'm playing 3. It was kind of disheartening to beat him into the ground, like, essentially. So round 5 went well. We are 2-3. I'm pretty sure we are not able to top because we lost 2 matches. But, you know, we're here at the C3, so 1 more match. We'll see what happens. Also, I didn't say this in the last clip, but Luke and Ethan dropped out. They announced that they were doing Winamat, and you can't participate in both. So they dropped out to do Winamat because they just weren't feeling it. So I'm the only one in the regionals now, out of the 3 of us. But yeah, see you in the next round.
Hello, it is the 29th, almost the 30th. I didn't record a round 6 afterthought because I was tired and there's some stuff that came up. But essentially, we went against Machinists, Earth Machines. I had kind of expected to see them at the event, but when I was doing my initial looks, I hadn't seen them, so didn't think I'd be playing it at round 6. Round 1 went pretty well. We had a bit of an issue with Quillport Genius where it has to be able to negate his monster's effect before it can negate mine. And we didn't know that, so we had to get a judge, and the judge took 5 minutes to try and find the ruling, and he couldn't find it, so he got the head judge, and then another 5 minutes or so. Eventually we got it figured out, which was awesome, and now I know that, because it's fuck, like, how would I know that Quillport Genius has to negate the monster? But yeah, so there was that bit of ruling dispute, and by the time that we finished round 1, there was 11 minutes left on the clock. We did get a time extension for 4 minutes, but, 15 minutes for another 2 rounds, essentially. Not a ton of time. We went into round 2, and he was playing very aggressive, like trying to go for the OTK and stuff, and I could have let him, but I also used a Solemn Warning and a Solemn Strike to prevent him from playing so aggressively, which put me down 3,500.
And Rune Force, man, that card, just not a hard one to return. Its summoning condition needs some kind of like once per turn clause. Because that's pretty broken. I think I removed it 6 times and he brought it back 6 times. He had a ton of banished monsters. It was crazy. But we got 2-0'd. That's life. The game went well. Guy was nice. Very understanding and like, you know, letting me read all the cards, even though I was thinking about playing Earth Machine, so I knew what most of them did, but just wanted clarification. Really good guy. But yeah, we were 2-4 at the end of the day, but overall the event hosted by Side Deck Gaming from the States, they were amazing. They did awesome. Like I would love to go back to another event like that. It was so heartwarming and like so welcoming. Having all these players, like some of them were somewhat new, some of them were going there for the first time themselves, and like it was awesome to be able to meet up with people and just chit chat about this game that we all love. However, at the same time, the guy that we dueled in round 4, the Cyberdark player, he was leaving the event after everything had been announced and prizes were being given out, and he was leaving and he's like, oh, okay, well, hey, do you guys have anything to trade? And we didn't bring anything to trade. We just had what we pulled from our packs of Dimension Force, and I had pulled a Vista Starfrost, something like that, $10 card, and I only knew that because I looked up the price immediately after I pulled it, which really says something. But it's like, okay, sure. He wanted the Starfrost, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm down to trade. I don't have any real attachment or thoughts involving the card. So going through stuff, and the only thing I could find that I really wanted was a Cross Sheep, and I was totally down to pay for it. Like, sure, I had some cash on me. But he didn't want cash, and he didn't want to give up just a $1 card. But when I told him, saying like, oh, okay, well, you know, that sort of happens, it's just not gonna work out, then he's like, oh, no, this is a really good trade, like, if you really need this, because from what I saw of your deck, like, this would really help, blah, 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 like, I'll trade you this 1 card for your Starfrost right now. Like, the dude was so disingenuous. Like, he tried ripping me off. I told him, like, no, you don't have anything else that I really want or even need, and like, I will pay you cash for a Cross Sheep. Like, it's not that expensive, so I'll pay for it, yeah. But he didn't want it, so he was just such a jerk. But everyone else that I dueled, and like, from the sounds of it, just about everybody else had really good experience with the event. It just sucks that, you know, the people are like that. But at the same time, we have a wonderful community. And I would love to go to one of these events again. But if I had to rate my overall experience of the Regina Regionals of May 2022, 10 out of 10. Just 10 out of 10. Like, yeah, there was one shitty guy. But everywhere else I looked, everyone was having fun. My buddies, like, they don't play super competitively. And, like, they'd never thought about playing anything other than traditional format. And I asked them, got them all set up. And now my buddy Luke, who's playing Dangers, he has fallen in love with the Dangers. What did I just say? Dark Worlds? Dangers? He was playing Dark Worlds originally without Dangers, just with block back cards. So he fell in love with that.
Ethan was playing Black Wings, we upgraded him to be able to break boards, like just in a snap, using things like Evenly Matched or Dark Ruler No More, things like that. Mystic Mine too, that was a great one. But overall, I had an amazing time at the event. I would love to go again. But yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, something like that. I will see you in the next video.